So in the previous video we have just talked about chapter number 5. So today let's just start with permanent magnets and electromagnetics. Substances which at room temperature retain their ferromagnetic property for a long period of time are called permanent magnets. Permanent magnets can be made in variety of ways. In one can hold an iron rod in the north-south direction and hammer it repeatedly. The method is illustrated in figure 5.15. The illustration is from a 400-year-old book to emphasize that the making of permanent magnets is an old art. One can also hold a steel rod and stroke it with one end of a bar magnet a large number of times, always in the same sense to make permanent magnet. An efficient way to make a permanent magnet is to place a ferromagnetic rod in a solenoid and pass a current. The magnetic field of solenoid magnetizes the rod. The hysteresis curve allows us to select suitable materials for permanent magnets. The material should have highly retentivity so that the magnet is strong, and high corrosivity so that the magnetization is not erased by stray magnetic fields, temperatures fluctuations, or minor mechanical damages. Further, the material should have a high permeability. Steel is one favored choice. It has a slightly smaller retentivity than soft iron, but this is outweighed by the much smaller corrosivity of soft iron. Other suitable materials for permanent magnets are alnico, cobalt steel, and Ticonol. Core of electromagnets are made of ferromagnetic materials which have high permeability and low retentivity. Soft iron is suitable material for electromagnets. When placing a soft iron rod in a solenoid and passing a current, we increase the magnetism of the solenoid by 1,000-fold. When we switch off the solenoid current, the magnetism is effectively switched off. Since the soft iron core has a low retentivity, the arrangement is shown in figure. In certain applications, the material goes through an AC cycle of magnetization for a long period. This is the case in transfer cores and telephone diaphragms. The hysteresis curve of such materials must be narrow. The energy dissipated and the heating of consequently be small. The material must have a high resistivity to lower eddy current losses. You will study about eddy currents in chapter number 6. Electromagnets are used in electric bells, loudspeakers, and telephone diaphragms. Giant electromagnets are used in cranes to lift machinery and bulk quantities of iron and steel. Mapping India's magnetic field. Because of its practical application in prospecting, communication, and navigation, the magnetic field of the earth is mapped by most nations with an accuracy comparable to geographical mapping. In India, over a dozen observatories existed, extending from Trivandrum in the south to Gulmarg in north. These observatories work under the aegis of Indian Institute of Geomagnetism in Colaba, Mumbai. The IIG grew out of the Colaba and Alibag observatories and was formally established in 1971. The IIG monitors the geomagnetic by the Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited, the National Institute of Oceanography, and the Indian Space Research Organization. It is a part of the worldwide network which agelessly updates the geomagnetic data. Now India has a permanent station called Gangotri. Now the summary part. The science of magnetism is old. It has been known since ancient times that magnetic materials tend to point in the north-south direction, like magnetic poles repel and unlike ones attract. And cutting a bar magnet into leads to two smaller magnets. Magnetic poles cannot be isolated. Second is when a bar magnet of a dipole moment M is placed in a uniform magnetic field B, the force on it is zero, the torque on it is M cross B, and its potential energy is minus M into B, where we choose the zero of energy at the orientation when M is perpendicular to B. Consider a bar magnet of size L and the magnetic moment M at a distance r from its midpoint, where r is very much greater than L. The magnetic field B due to this bar is B is equals to nu 0 m divided by 2 pi r cube. For the along x-axis and for equator it is minus nu 0 m divided by 4 pi r cube. 4 point is Gauss law. Gauss law for magnetism states that the net magnetic flux through any closed surface is zero. Therefore, phi b is equals to sigma all area elements delta s b into delta s is equals to 0. The Earth's magnetic field resembles that a hypothetical magnetic dipole located at a center of the Earth. The pole near the geographic north pole of the Earth is called the north magnetic pole, and similarly the pole near the geographic south pole is called south magnetic pole. This dipole is aligned making a small angle with a rotation axis of the Earth. The magnitude of the field on the Earth's surface is 4 into 10 raised to minus 5 Tesla. Sixth one, three quantities are needed to specify the magnetic field of the Earth on its surface: the horizontal component, the magnetic declination, and the magnetic dip. These are known as the elements of Earth's magnetic field. Consider a material placed in an external magnetic field B0. The magnetic intensity is defined as H is equals to B0 divided by nu 0. The magnetization M of the material is its dipole moment per unit volume. The magnetic field B in the material is B is equals to nu 0 H plus M. 8.1 for a linear material M is equals to XH, so that B is equals to nu H and X is called the magnetic susceptibility of the material. The three quantities X, the relative magnetic permeability nu r, and the magnetic permeability nu are related as follows: nu is equals to nu 0 nu r is equals to 1 plus x. Ninth one is magnetic materials are broadly classified as diamagnetic, paramagnetic, and ferromagnetic. For diamagnetic materials, X is negative and small, and for paramagnetic materials, it is positive and small. Ferromagnetic materials have large X and are characterized by non-linear relation between B and H. They show the property of hysteresis. 10th one, substance which at room temperature retain their ferromagnetic property for a long period of time are called permanent magnets. Next is we are having the dimensions of different properties. Permeability of free space nu 0 is scalar quantity, and the dimension formula is mLT minus 2a minus 2. Unit is Tesla meter per ampere. Magnetic field, magnetic induction, magnetic flux density, that is B, is a vector quantity. mt minus 2a minus 1. Magnetic moment m vector L minus 2a. Magnetic flux phi b, it is a scalar quantity. Dimension is m L 2t minus 2a minus 1, and its unit is Weber. Magnetization M vector quantity L minus 1a ampere per meter. Magnetic intensity, magnetic field strength H, vector quantity L minus 1 ampere meter. Magnetic susceptibility X, scalar quantity. Relative magnetic permeability nu, it is a scalar quantity, and magnetic permeability nu, it is a scalar quantity. So here we just completed our chapter number 5. Points to ponder: a satisfactory understanding of magnetic phenomenon in terms of moving charges or currents was derived after 800 AD, but technological explanation of the directional properties of magnets predates this scientific understanding by 2000 years. Thus, scientific understanding is not a necessary condition for engineering application. Ideally, science and engineering go hand in hand, one leading and assisting the other in tandem. Second is magnetic monopoles do not exist. If you slice a magnet in half, you get two smaller magnets. On the other hand, isolated positive and negative charge exist. There exists a small unit of charge. For example, the electronic charge of the value E is equals to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. All other charges are integral multiplies of the smallest unit charge. In other words, charge is quantized. We do not know why magnetic monopoles do not exist or why electric charge is quantized. A consequence of the fact that the magnetic monopoles do not exist is that the magnetic lines are continuous and form closed loops. In contrast, the electrostatic lines of force begin on a positive charge and terminate on the negative charge or fade out infinity. The Earth's magnetic field is not due to a Berg bar magnet inside it. The Earth's core is hot and molten. Perhaps convective currents in this core are responsible for Earth's magnetic field. As to what dynamo effect sustains this current and why the Earth's field reverses polarity every million years or so, we don't know. A minuscule difference in the value of X or Z, the magnetic susceptibility yields radically different behavior. Diamagnetic versus paramagnetic. For diamagnetic materials, it is minus 10 raised to minus 5, whereas for the paramagnetic, it is plus 10 raised to minus 5. There exists a perfect diamagnetic, namely a superconductor. This is a metal at very low temperature. In this case, is minus 1, nu r is 0, nu is 0. The external magnetic field is totally expelled. Interestingly, this material is also a perfect conductor. However, there exists no classical theory which ties these two properties together. A quantum mechanical theory by Bardeen, Koppo and Scarifier explains these effects. The BCS in was theory was possessed in 1957 and was eventually recognized by Nobel Prize in Physics in 1970. The phenomenon of magnetic hysteresis is reminiscent of similar behavior concerning the elastic properties of material. Strain may not be proportional to stress. Here, H and B are not linearly related. The stress strain curve exhibits hysteresis and area enclosed by it represent the energy dissipated per unit volume. A similar interpretation can be given to the B to H magnetic hysteresis curve. Diamagnetism is universal. It is present in all materials, but it is weak and hard to detect if the substance is para or ferromagnetic. We have classified materials as diamagnetic, paramagnetic, and ferromagnetic, etc. However, there exist additional types of magnetic materials such as ferromagnetic, antiferromagnetic, spin glass, etc., with properties which are exotic and mysterious. Next, we are having the exercise of this particular chapter. So, learn by yourself. And today we are going to today we just completed our chapter number 5. In the next video, we are going to start with chapter number 6. Thank you.